Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Patrice and today we are going to dive right into this video. We will be making some 3D tumblers. Alright y'all, so before we get into making the tumblers, I'm going to be printing from my SAWGRASS SG500 and also my EPSON EcoTank 15000. One of the printers is an actual sublimation printer. The other printer, the 15000, is a converted printer. So we are going to be printing out. We're going to check out this new latest 3D tumbler trend and see how we like it and how the two prints compare.
So we're first going to head into design bundles to get an image, and I saw this image when I was searching their free files and I wanted to try it out and use it. So there will be a link listed below to design bundles, to this file, and also to their site in case you're interested in getting one of their membership packages. But we found this lovely lemonade type of design and we are going to use that. So now we're inside of Adobe Illustrator and we are going to get ready to print out our design, and I already have the template here. I measured my tumbler to be about 9 1/4 by 8 inches high, so I'm going to make it a little wider, just a tad bit wider. I don't want too much overlap, so it is measuring now at 9.3 by 8. So I am just going to place the image inside of the template, and then I need to resize it. Now at this time, if I wanted to maybe customize it a little bit more, I could. If I wanted to put a name on it or so, I could put a name on it. The only place I see where I might want to put a name is maybe down the side, but I think I'm just going to leave it like this. Okay, and so next I'm just going to remove the black outline from around that template because I don't want that to print out. So here is our image, and we are going to be printing this on a SAWGRASS SG500, which is an actual sublimation printer. And we will also be printing this out with a converted sublimation printer, our EPSON EcoTank 15000. So first, let's go ahead and print to the EPSON. And I just need to make sure I have this correct printer selected. There we have it. Okay. And as far as the setup, we are going to work with our print setup. So printer options, then I'm going to expand it to print settings. And we will be doing, it's actually going to be going from the paper cassette. I'm going to leave the media type at plain paper, and print quality is going to be quality. And of course I want to mirror the image. And then I'm going to head to color options, and in color options I'm going to change the mode from Epson Vivid to Adobe RGB, and we are going to leave this at, actually I'm going to take it down to a 1.8 gamma. They're very vibrant colors. Alright, and so now we're ready to print it. And now I'm going to print to the SAWGRASS, and I'm going to print directly from Adobe Illustrator. You can open up Print Manager for SAWGRASS and print from there, but today we are just going to print from Adobe Illustrator. Just want to make sure the setup, and honestly it doesn't really matter with mirroring this one because there is no text and nothing has to be in a certain direction, but you always want to make sure that you mirror your image. And to do that inside of Adobe Illustrator, I'm just going to flip it horizontally underneath the layout option. Okay, so now we're printing, and this is it printing on the EPSON EcoTank 15000. And honestly, y'all, it took the EPSON EcoTank 15000 to print out maybe about 5 minutes, and the SAWGRASS printed it out pretty much right away. I did not have to wait, and those colors on that SAWGRASS looks like they're going to be on point. So now I'm wrapping the tumblers, and I want to make sure that it fits great. I don't want too much of an overlap because sometimes when there's too much of an overlap, the ink that's layered on top will bleed through the other side, and it'll cause a little bit of discoloration or too much color in that area. And so I'm just going to begin taping, and this is how I make sure that the image is on there straight and I just like to stand it up and kind of flush that image down so that I can make sure that all parts are covered and that image is not really not aligned correctly. So I'm just taping that seam down, and as I'm taping the seam down, I'm kind of trying to flatten it out a bit so that no air can get inside. And I'm going to write which printer printed that image out so that we can know when it's time when we do our reveal. And y'all, I printed this out and it did not fit. So what I need to let you guys know is that sometimes, even though you may get tumblers from the same manufacturer, they may not all be the same size.
Alright guys, so here is our new printout, because of course I needed to make sure that the size was correctly, and here was the original, and as you guys see, it is definitely measuring to be a little bit longer or taller than the original one or the other tumbler. But I do want you to notice the color difference. So I changed the color settings inside of Adobe Illustrator when I printed it out. So there we have two different colors. Now I do want to get a tumbler that can fit this one so that we can see how that color output will be.
Alright guys, so now I'm just repeating the process and wrapping our tumbler, and of course I'm going to get those seams and tape this down really well to prevent any air from getting in. Now you can tape the top and the bottom if you want to make sure that you don't have any air seeping through to cause ghosting.
For today's press, we will be using our auto tumbler press to get our tumblers subbed. The manufacturer suggests that you place a tumbler blank inside while it's heating up. Now, if you don't have a spare tumbler to do that, then you may want to do this step prior to wrapping your tumbler with the image. Alright guys, so we're going to be pressing our tumbler at 356 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 seconds. So we're going to rotate it and then press it again for another 45 seconds. Alright guys, so our heat press has heated up, and now it's time for us to place the tumbler inside of the press. I do have it wrapped in the butcher paper because I don't want any of the ink to go onto our heating element. I am going to turn the seam towards the bottom, and this first tumbler is going to be the EPSON 15,000. Alright, so now we're ready to place this in, and we will be pressing this at 356 degrees for 45 seconds. We're going to press start. Once that is done, we're going to rotate it. You guys notice that temperature is going down and up and down and up. And now for the second press, we're just going to rotate our tumbler so that the area that was exposed at the top, so that that area is pressed. So we're just rotating it, and that seam is going to be at the top, and you want to make sure that it's in the center. Let's go ahead and press start. Alright, so before I actually take it out, I am going to just hit the ends and the top part just so that we can make sure that it was covered. And I have on my heat gloves because it can get hot. So I'm going to just slide it out, and then I am going to close it back. Alright, that's good. Then I'm just going to rotate it. Rotate it there just to give it a few seconds. That stop button got stuck.
Okay, y'all, so next I'm going to just repeat the same steps to make sure that the top part of the tumbler is also subbed nicely, and this doesn't cause any color discoloration. Everything should come out fine. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and sub the next tumbler, the one that we used the image from the SAWGRASS SG500, and I'm pretty much doing the same exact steps that I used for the previous tumbler that we just made. And once this is done, we will be ready to unveil our tumblers.
All right, y'all, so we're all set. We're all done with subbing both tumblers. The first tumbler that we're going to unveil is the image that we printed from our EPSON EcoTank 15000, which is a converted sublimation printer. So let's see how this one came out. All right, we got a little sneak peek a little bit. And this is what we have. And this is the EPSON EcoTank 15000. Let's look at the seam. Not too bad. This is the EPSON EcoTank 15000. I must say that that color looks really, really good on there. All right, so next up is our SAWGRASS tumbler. And we're just going to remove the tape. Okay, let's see what we have here. And our seam did not go so well, y'all. Even after pressing it at the top and the bottom, our seam did not go well. But I still think it looks good, and I think it will look great with some lemon on the top. Now, as far as color is concerned, I definitely think that the SAWGRASS is more true to the color, even though the EPSON looked like it was going to print out the color, like the printout was okay. So this is the EPSON and this is the SAWGRASS. All right, y'all, so we are all done with our 3D tumblers, and these 3D tumblers are the absolute cutest, but I do think that printing from the SAWGRASS SG500 gives you the truest color based on what it is that you're printing. However, there are ways to tweak your colors a lot more inside of the print manager software, whether you're using, like how I use today, Adobe Illustrator, or if you get a printer color profile, you can do that as well. However, with the SG500, you really don't have to do much of anything, and that is an actual sublimation printer. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to head over to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and join the Craftable Things communities there as well. We would love to have you there. But that's it for today, y'all. Thank you all so very much for watching. Until next time.